Shook the best when your love was home, storing up on your summer glow. You went in search of someone else, and I hear your ship is coming in. Your tears are sea for me to swim. And I hear a storm is coming in. My dears, I know we've ever been. Caught the air in your woven mouth, leaving all are we hearing how you went in search of someone else. I taught the hand that taught the bride, both our eyes locked to the tide. We went in circles somewhere else. And I hear the ship is coming in. Your tears Shut me up, please dance with me, and I'll sing to you a symphony. Won't you kiss me? Shut me up, please dance with me, and I'll sing to you a symphony. Won't you kiss me? Shut me up, please dance with me, and I'll sing to you a symphony. Won't you kiss me? Shut me up, please dance with me, and I'll sing to you a symphony. Won't you kiss me? Shut me up, please dance with me, and I'll sing to you a symphony. Won't you kiss me? Shut me up, please. She's a goddess, a wish from a star in my heart. Oh, Don't you ever let them stand in your way now. Try till you miss it, then just go on back around. Man, I'm feeling fucking different. I see you looking like I'm different. So go and treat me like I'm different. Cause I'ma live it like I'm different, yeah. But the world'll never change when you wanna change. And the people never say what you wanna say. So go and live your life like you don't give a fuck. Cause I've been running through this life and still can't get enough. Oh, 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 don't you ever let them stand in your way now. Try till you miss it, then just go on back around. Man, I'm feeling fucking different. I see you looking like I'm different. So go and treat me like I'm different. Cause I'ma live it like I'm different, yeah. But the world'll never change when you wanna change. And the people never say what you wanna say. So go and live your life like you don't give a fuck. Cause I've been running through this life and still can't get enough. Oh, 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 oh,
Welcome to the NECC Rainbow Six Siege here on this fine Wednesday evening. It's the University of Nebraska at Kearney versus the College of the Holy Cross, the Lopers versus Holy Cross Purple. I'm Corbeck, and alongside me is Time to Light. And well, Time, this is going to be a bit of an interesting matchup just based on where these teams currently are in terms of record and standings.
Yeah, I have to be honest with you. Neither of these teams have gotten a win just yet, so that will definitely change tonight. Unfortunately, both teams have had their struggles early on, but it's the turning point of the season. You've reached your early season struggles. You have passed them. It's time to move on. They need to get a win. Both of these teams, unfortunately, are in the exact same position, which means not both of them will come out on top. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. Welcome to Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, this is Navigators, so this is not necessarily the highest division. But when we say these teams are in, not so great of a position, we're not going to rag on them, but it has been a rough start for both of them. I do believe that the record for Holy Cross is 0-2, and not a lot of map wins to their, or I should say, even stage wins to their name. Right? They haven't actually managed to pull much off, and the same can be said of the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Though that's been their first week at so maybe a little bit of variance there, but a good opportunity nonetheless. Time for one of them to get a win, and I think you're entirely right. A crucial win it is as we get started here on Coastline with the first ban being Montaigne.
I gotta say, I haven't seen a Montaigne ban in about four or 5 months. It's been a little while, but UNK are going to have the option of banning out Thatcher on Coastline, which is an optional ban in all fairness. I would like to see it gone, but we're going to see a Jackal off the board. Thatcher will be available on Coastline, and we're looking at these teams, and you said it, neither of these teams have won a match thus far. Uh, I'd like to see that changed. Both teams are going to get their first map win today, or at least one of them is, and I'd like to see it be an attacker-sided Coastline, just through and through. I've also learned that these teams apparently do not like shields, Corbeck.
Yeah, neither does my dog apparently, because the minute that Montaigne ban came down, he was excited. He went sprinting, barking, letting everybody know that they'd ban Montaigne. Clash getting taken out here as well. These do feel like bans, to be fair, these do feel like bans that are more appropriate to this elo, where you see operators like Clash are very, if not effective, at least very annoying, right? A lot of people don't want to deal with at a kind of the mid ranges of elo, so not entirely surprised to see them go here as we go ahead and get started. I don't think we'll be seeing Recruit run seriously by Derpy Mage, but you never know. Is that in the rules? I have no idea actually. Well, it's at least being shown here. I'm assuming a 6-pick will come through, but Valkyrie on the board, some very powerful operators still in operation. It is worth pointing out Valkyrie, Smoke, Capkin being worked in here too is a bit of an interesting choice, but not one that I think is wholly terrible on Coastline. The swap to Goyo there is perfectly acceptable as well. Just get those Volcans in action, and the Recruit will be going through. So that is something that I do not think I have ever seen in competitive Rainbow Six Siege ever.
I have not either. That is a first for me, just the same. Welcome to the competitive Rainbow Six Siege there, Recruit. I'd like to see, once the round itself starts, which version of the Recruit we have. Of course, there are so many on the board. I never thought I'd have to get analytical on the backgrounds of Recruit, but you can play so many different weapons because there's so many different versions of the operator. Used to be, you'd have to switch between the different versions of operator backgrounds, like the GIGN, the SAS, etc. Now you just get primary weapons. It's much less confusing, and I don't have to Google which is which.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, that's very fair. With no Mira here, you see a little bit of a change in the setup on that top hallway. They're going to use that shield right there, set that down, and it looks like they might actually consider not boarding this door. A very interesting placement for the Volcan, though, to be honest. I don't necessarily see the logic of that one unless you actually want to use that as a straight trap. It is, I guess, another layer of defense there for whatever player is going to play that behind the shield position. It looks like the tack rifle there on the docket for Recruit. So again, another interesting choice. Similarly, the sort of tactical rifle there coming out as well on Maverick. So double rifles coming in as they look to push through Aqua, at least initially. A lot of bodies here and only one defender in position. I do believe that is the Goyo there holding up behind the bar.
Interesting decisions to bring out the dual tactical rifles of the DMRs, and both of them having 3x scopes on them, but nothing bringing out that AR-15 while we see the MK-14 on the Recruit of Derpy Mage. That combination's an interesting one, and I don't think one I've seen before, especially with a suppressor on the AR-15. Sorry, that's a new one. I by instinct was referring to Maverick and then automatically said M4.
Understandable. It is an interesting weapon combination. It does, I would say, require a bit of confidence on the side of the players to feel confident about hitting that. But speaking of hitting that, that was a spectacular grenade throw there by Derpy Mage. Managed to just sling that one right in there. The Recruit coming in with those frags. Unfortunately, they do lose Mashu shortly thereafter. It will be Moving 3 who picks up that kill early on. So the score remains tied 4-4. And a lot of fuss going on here around Aqua, but very little push actually coming in from this direction.
Yeah, I don't really see any map control gained. They have the entirety of Aqua if they want it. OEO is playing down below. I feel like she's going to want to try and move up pool vibes and just take control back upstairs, but it seems like somebody's trying to take control and Sunrise just the same, so she may try and shut that down as well. Honestly, up to her as to how she wants to play, and well, she wants to take out Snipes. Down goes that Lion. The EE1Ds are off the board, and oh my goodness, the Ying is low and looks to be taken out. Shots are missed. Still the fight coming on, and oh, it's won yet again. OEO coming out on top of that one just the same. A double kill for them, but as I say that, the diffuser's planted. Doesn't seem like it's going to matter, though. It's down to the recruit. All they have left are some breaching charges and an MK14. They're going to get jumped over. Moving 3 with a triple. OEO with a double. It's a buddy ace in the first round for Holy Cross as they open up the scoring. The round win of their own.
Yeah, it's just it was a very slow attack, right? We very rarely see teams devote so much attention to Aqua as kind of a attack route, I would say, at least at higher levels of Siege. So putting all your eggs into that one basket and kind of hoping that it would pay off. I mean, to their credit, they did manage to get the plant down at the end, but not until they had lost pretty much everyone else on the team. So, you know, limited effectiveness right there in that regard. They will be coming back in again, Derpy Mage on the recruit. So those frag grenades, I assume, will be making another appearance as we move over to Penthouse Theater. Penthouse Theater is one of those sort of interesting points on Coastline. For a while, it was kind of untouchable. I think that a lot of teams didn't really like it. It kind of came back into favor. It's kind of dropped back out of favor. It's sort of it's sort of everywhere and nowhere all at once. Usually, you see teams maybe going for, I would argue, that downstairs kitchen service before they'll go for this, but that will not stop. Holy Cross here, they will take the second site, and they are bringing a relatively standard defensive lineup. The Wamai coming in alongside the Jaeger, so plenty of projectile denial. And then you're bringing a Kaid along for some of that hard reinforcement. Now that they've changed the way this wall works here in VIP, I feel like you really do need someone to deny it, at least temporarily on that outside edge.
I do want to question one thing. We saw the nades come through from UNK early on in that round, but it wasn't on the recruits. And unless that was their primary gadget. Was that their primary gadget? Not the secondary? Because the secondary was the breaching charges.
He definitely got a grenade kill, so
yeah.
He was using
wow.
them. I've never really, I mean, for reasons that are probably obvious to anybody who's familiar with Siege, I don't know anything about recruits, so I have no idea how he works, but he definitely has some frags as his primary util.
Yeah, I just took a look at the replay. You are able to bring primary gadget as grenades on recruit. The MK14 back on the board for Derpy Mage, but one thing I'm surprised about is even with the AR-15 on But Nothing, she's deciding to bring the Claymore instead of those frag grenades. Interesting decision on the Maverick, and not one we usually see.
No, I mean, to be fair, they have, 4 frag grenades in the rotation already, but it's hard to argue with, 6 frag grenades at that point in time. That said, on the side of Holy Cross, you would assume that they are relatively well protected here against a frag grenade barrage. I think the only person who could really stall that out is Derpy Mage with the secondary. In fact, he's already used 2 of his frags here on the entry. Again, Aquarium kind of becoming the hot spot, and they are at least taking their sweet time about moving in yet again. Looks like they might have the other 3 all watching the bathroom hatch, which that's a dangerous business, and they will actually peel off there and go in opposite direction, and I can't blame them for that at all. I don't know if that's the kind of place that you really want to try and hard pull here, as they'll go ahead and take a look at this wall. Of course, this is one of the more recent changes that have been made to the map, as Maverick's just going to go ahead and poke holes in it.
Oh,
no. Unfortunate. Nalwal's basically had all the time in the world to line that shot up.
Believe it or not, that is not how the Maverick torch works, but I'm better, mate. Is apparently better, mate. Down goes moving 3. The Kate is off the board, so it's back into the 4 versus 4. Not a terrible early loss for UNK, but the Maverick being their sole hard breach, minus that hard breaching tool on the Ying of I'm better, mate. That'll need to convert into something. Mashu is just going to hold W into their own smoke. Stewie 2K making their appearance in Rainbow Six Siege, and getting a kill just the same, as Ocean's Fury will fall in a little bit of DM just the same.
Yeah, Mashu trying to push up there and get aggressive, but Ash is there to counter it out, so Mashu will go down. I'm Better Mate does manage to get another kill in here onto Nawal, who was the one that was holding those sidelines into the wall. And now OEU will get one as well. And that'll leave it tied up at 2-2. Snipes here looking down the site, just looking for feed. I don't think he's going to find any defenders wandering into the bathroom right there. That would be a strange play for them to make when this sort of 2v2 situation. He's got Derpy Mage on the backup. Out comes the first sort of flash grenade right there. Ash backing up just a little bit. The rush comes in. Ash clips one with the Vector, but it's not enough. Ash running for cover, drops down behind the DJ booth, goes back in on the other side. 5 seconds left on the clock. They've probably done enough to deny this, at least temporarily. Derpy Mage tries to swing it through the door and get the plant down, but there's just not enough time left in the bank.
Unable to pull that one off. A questionable attack there from UNK. They really were not able to mount any ground, even after opening the hatch. Moving towards that balcony, they couldn't mount anything. They had a little bit of the aquarium side. They pushed even in towards billiards. And I'm Better Mate got a couple of kills, but it just didn't go their way. Mashu, the smoke criminal, made their appearance in the 90 hall. Took out the Jaeger, but that's about as far as they got before being removed as well. X-Snipes living up to their namesake and going to the Glaz, but as I say that, I casters curse it, and they're going to 6th pick. On to who? It seems to be the Dokebi. We may see 2 MK14s on the attack of a competitive match for the first time in Rainbow Six Siege history.
Defenders protect the bombs.
I was going to say, for the first time that I thought about it, I was like, no, genuinely, I think you might be able to make that argument. I can't think of another time that I've ever seen it, but hey, whatever. If it floats your boat.
MK14? Aruni?
Yeah, it doesn't. Aruni,
no.
yeah, she's the only one that would have it. Unfortunately, moving 3 has been clipped here. And Ash has brought the Roni, so we won't be seeing 3 MK14s in action at one time. We're not so blessed, which would have genuinely been spectacular. I would have been all here for it, but that's an unfortunate bit of damage there on moving 3 early on, especially considering that you kind of want to use Malusi as that wanderer right at the start, one of your key maybe roamers. That will not be the case. On the other side, though, I mean, set up if they wanted to maybe attempt to rush there through the service entrance, at least with that Yang and the Candelas in pocket. And it might be kind of what they're building towards here, though as I say that, they begin to look towards Bar instead. The MK14 not coming out on the side of Recruit this time. He's bought the machine gun instead, so the LMG will make the appearance. But nothing there. Trying to look down range for a target, won't find anything. A little check back on his teammate to make sure that the trade is perhaps in place, and they will go ahead and blow out the top of that window. I don't know what they're looking for necessarily by doing that, but whatever it is, it's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah, the Surrey Gate is unable to be shot. You need to yeet some utility through it. That's what your flashbangs are for, my friends. They will find that out eventually. But nothing with the AR-15. We'll just look in and continue to shoot that barricade until it is open, and that's exactly what it is. Ashi was just allowed to walk into the site, or at least the closest door to site. They'll continue to make their way around in towards the main lobby. They'll peek around. I think they saw feet. Do they know it? I don't think they're aware. I'm Better Mate will get one, and it will be Mashu to take out Ash. Down goes that Aruni, and well, some extra shots on top of it, just for some fun, making sure they stop twitching as well, making sure the UNK Lopers can give themselves and keep it on the advantageous side in 5 minutes.
Good kill there from moving 3, though, swinging down Cool Vibe stairs and just racking up 1. The MP5, such a deadly gun, especially in the hands of a proficient player. And moving 3 has kind of demonstrated that they're one of the stronger players in the lobby so far. I'm Better Mate has to be very careful in this situation. He's got that crossfire coming down from Cool Vibes. It's not a particularly safe place to be. Moving 3, obviously not droned out at all here in this position, can happily sit here and try and intercept these 3 members. It does look like finally they are ratcheting up a drone. I'm Better Mate trying to push in from the opposite angle. Moving 3 comes off the position, and Derpy Mage is there to catch him out. So a little bit greedy, and he gets brought down. Now the plant is coming in. Ocean Fury comes up swinging on the side. The plant's going down right next to him. He has no idea there's another enemy team member in there as well, but nothing will collect that kill onto Ocean Fury, and that just leaves OIU, the only one left alive. Vien's pushing in on the other side. Good long bomb shot there with the Roni. Goes for the quick reload. Gonna have to try and take this from another angle if they can. One body left defending here on the ball. It's I'm Better Mate, who has been one of the strongest players on the team. A quick swing there. Gets checked just a little bit, but they're still in this. The Candela coming out gets eaten by the ADS. Eaten again! And now the hard swing! And a clutch save there.
No, they don't know where it is. They don't have time.
No, to the left. Oh,
They don't
I don't
have
think
it.
they
No,
can.
my
No, they
goodness.
don't.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No, they don't have it.
no.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Hashtag feels bad, mate. Can I get an F in chat for the Mozzie there, and well for the College of the Holy Cross?
Well, you know what?
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, we've all been there. It's happened to everybody at least once, where you've lost track of the diffuser. I feel like that's happened to at least everybody. I know that's happened to me, and it's
Oh, yeah, me
unfortunate.
multiple times.
Yeah, sometimes those sound cues, it can be hard to follow that beeping. You're just like, where is it? And there's no idea. But I mean, a good clutch up there at the end for the player from Holy Cross. Just unfortunately lost it at the tail end, which is well. Sometimes you get the bomb and sometimes the bomb gets you, or the diffuser, I guess, as the case may be. But we are on to the next stage here. The objective location coming in, it will be Hookah Billiard again. Finka making an appearance in the lineup. And Finka is an interesting operator who I just don't even know where she fits in these days, to be honest. It used to be that she was sort of the kiss of death. Now I feel like some teams are trying to work her more and more into rotations, and she continues to be one of the most, I would argue, kind of unique and definitely one of the operators with the most interactions with her fellow ops, just based on how her heals work and the various effects that they can have.
So I was actually looking at this, and Jesco put it very well. The analyst desks of EU League very illustrated this very well. The nanobots, they allow you to gain 20 health, and if you overheal yourself after that time period is expired, you'll go back down to your maximum amount of allowable health. For instance, 100 HP, 110 HP, or 125, whatever that may be for your operator. However, it also has its disadvantages. It speeds up your heart rate, so if you are sitting in a toxic babe or a toxic canister from smoke, it will kill you faster, and it takes less ticks for you to die.
Recoil is often cited as the problem that a lot of people have with it. It messes with the way in which your recoil works, which in a game of inches or even centimeters, like sieges, that generally tends to impact aim and causes problems. Never really known if I buy into that too much, but I think when you're at a very, very high level of play, and I mean the absolute tippy top, that sort of thing does tend to make a little bit of a difference. Seeing the drones go in right there, the Maverick coming out, but nothing immediately killed, though, in the act. It's Ash who swung out, I believe, the window in luggage and just saw him standing there on the drone, and that's why you want to generally not stand out in the open on that balcony. It is visible to a sightline. Mobius Mashu getting one in on the other side, though. It'll be Ocean's Fury who's taken out. So what the 4-4 trend remains. These two teams taming back and forth. Ooh is killed here in Sunrise. Kind of ducked when they should have dodged, I think, right there, time to line, and ran into an unfortunate position.
Yeah, OU unable to pull that one off. I have no idea how on God's green earth I'm Better Mate got into that position. And, well, the College of the Holy Cross may be able to answer that one for me. I feel like I'd be asking the correct one. Ash will continue to make their way around the bottom floor, and, well, they will find their death. Mashu, however, is downed on the opposing side of the map. That Thermite in a difficult position. Nobwal in a close spot with the Mossberg. They will miss two, but finish them off with a third. I'm Better Mate on the Ying will fall, with Mashu still down. However, that stim I was talking about earlier, that does come in, and Mashu picked up from that down position.
Well, revive is something useful. Moving 3, though, absolutely cleans Mashu's clock right there in luggage. But Derpy Mage is still here, still waiting, and I don't think that moving 3 really has an idea. They've hunkered up in the corner here, but I don't think it's to look at Derpy Mage, who now has an interesting position to be in. The 8-ball somehow rolling past him. I'm not sure exactly where that came from, but okay, it's there. Now, I think we can say that moving 3 knows that he's there. He heard the camera going up, and he will fall back to another position. Sniper 76, Snipe 76. 76 here as well. The shot's coming in across the balcony. That one more time out of the luggage window. A narrow escape there from moving 3, who's already on half health. Needs to be very careful continuing to peek this. The red dot sight, not exactly the most advantageous gun in these long-range fights.
Narwhal on the opposing side of the map, they will make their way over. Nade goes in. That'll force Snipe to back up, and well, force Derpy Mage down to about 100 HP. Derpy Mage will push in. They need to get the diffuser, but they will be shut down. Moving 3 with a double to close out the round. Holy Cross, shutting things down. Back on Hookah. This is the sight they love, and you can see exactly why. That's a third round for them.
Oh, it's a bit of an ugly end there. Unfortunately, that diffuser dropped in a rather difficult place, I think, for the UNK Lopers to get back to. They were just not able to sprint in and grab it. And that does happen sometimes. You just can't get to it fast enough. Anyway, moving on to Penthouse Theater. It will be a Blackbeard coming out on the side of the UNK Lopers. Don't see an awful lot of Blackbeard these days. He's sort of fallen off the wagon after they nerfed him into the dirt. And the 6th pick there means we will not see much of him in this match either. It'll be Thatcher who comes in as the recruit action remains steady here, moving over to Penthouse Theater.
Back to Penthouse, which at this level of play is not a terrible site to play. We've seen exactly why. Holy Cross have been capitalizing off of it well, and they seem to have a strat set up for it just the same. Narwhal will open up a little rotate, but we saw them play off of in the previous round we played here. Not too surprising, but one thing that is surprising is to see an ADS on that wall. Interesting one that can be relatively easily shot from that VIP hallway. I suppose they must be locking that down as, wow, you can see everything being shoved into Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's just a good note to remember. It's easy to forget that those ADSs aren't vulnerable in positions like that. I think, is it still there? No, I believe it. I was going to say, I think they might have taken it down, but just something to remember for anyone who's playing Siege, actually. Big long throw there on the Electro Claw. You don't see that very often. It looked like he was trying to wing it up into the awning decoration, whatever it is. I can't quite tell if it worked, and I don't think we have any camera angle that would really show it to us. They did get one panel. Definitely interesting positioning.
I've never seen that before. That's a new one. I need to write that down for when I play Coastline in my ranked games. That is a good one.
Creative.
Wow.
That's creative. I don't think that a lot of teams would think to look there, to be quite honest.
I mean, justifiably so too. Would you look up in the rafters on the outside and no. Okay, good, it fell. Whew, that was not. That was close.
That happened to Captain America. It happened to anybody, to be honest. Actually, I don't think he threw that grenade, but, you know, he still experienced the same situation. I'm Better Mate here, swinging around up the top hallway, just narrowly misses Ocean's Fury. 2 ships passing in the night right there, neither running into one another. Moving 3, though, will send bullets running straight into I'm Better Mate's face, and that will be a down already for the Ying. Ocean's Fury now playing out of Aquarium, rotating their way back. Has a soft ping, but nobody really in the area. Ash will drop. Oh, and you see OU getting 2 big kills in. Oh, and he's got him in the back. Ocean's Fury just has to bring down the shots. He gets 1. Is he going to pull the secondary here, though? Mashu comes swinging in and instead secures the kill. And Mashu falls back into position behind the bar, but it's a 1v3, and it feels relatively hopeless.
Yeah, down to just the Thatcher here. One of the more uncommon operators that are played in the current meta because, well, they're usually banned out for how effective they can be. Mashu taking a decent bit of damage early on. That seems to be from the side, and they seem to be aware of it, but where is that damage coming from? Oh, they were shot from a drone or the small rotate hole all the way from Penthouse. That is a distance and a half to be shot from. Moving 3, still playing a little bit off of that position. They are low and in one-shot potential. This is a possible clutch here from Mashu, but with 50 seconds left and the diffuser on their back, it is a little bit easier than it could be.
Yes, 45 seconds on the clock. Gonna have to be tight and careful if they want to pull this one off. That wall is fully reinforced. Nothing they can play off of that. The shield is there as well. Doesn't see the movement. And OU getting yet another one. Has kind of been a fragger here for the side of Holy Cross.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Thatcher unable to pull that one out. And with a Vulcan shield there and sitting in front of you, it's difficult to deal with on that attacking side, especially when there's a Wamai with MP5K just hanging out behind it. that weapon is as deadly as it looks, and well, you can see exactly why with the shots coming in there. Derpy Mage back on the recruit, and on today's episode of Surprising Absolutely Nobody, we're seeing the base operator from Derpy Mage. However, I have to be honest, they've been a little more effective than I thought they would be using the baseline up, and I'd like to say it's a welcome surprise for me.
I mean, Recruit has some decent firepower. He's got frag grenades too. I mean, it's not probably as good as some of the other operators that you could be playing on the attack, but he's not completely useless, I guess. I actually probably think that there are other attacking operators that are arguably more useless than Recruit when push comes to shove. Glass, but anyway. In the hands of a really competent player, maybe we'll give Glass a little bit of credit, but why would you pick that sniper when you've got a much better one sitting just down the lineup? Anyway, Ocean's Fury here, not putting ADSs on unreinforced walls this time, so that's good. Safe on those main entrances as they go ahead and prepare here. Again, it's a little hard to predict, I think, what's going to happen here tactically. I'll be honest with you. This is Coastline, which is already, well reputed as kind of the team deathmatch map, right? I think that's a fairly common reputation, and it often turns out to just be pure shooty. And I think these two teams in particular have played it very much to its reputation. It has just been a lot of gunfights and action here, followed by kind of moments of trying to assess which way to go before they get caught in those fights again.
I like the very efficient strategies of holding W towards the site, especially when EE1Ds are popped as such. It seems like another one may be put in here on Mashu as it does refresh. Audio is given over that they are below with that V308 in hand, and we're seeing both Finka and Lion on at the same time. They came into the game at the same time. It seems like it's only fitting that they get played at the same time as well. I love to see them played in tandem with each other, and well, the Mozzie's been found out, so they may be dealt with above. But with this P10 getting a recent nerf, well, a nerf soon to come at least, will we see that more or less when it comes push to shove?
I think in the case of Mozzie, we'll probably see players going back over to, is it the Commando on the other side? For someone like a Rooney, though, I do generally tend to think that Rooney will probably remain her primary gun. And I mean, a lot of it has to do with just player skill as well. By the way, rushing down here, speaking of player skill, I think they're trying to get very aggressive here. They use another one of those Lion Pinks to see if they can catch anybody looking. They can. Mashu's going to go ahead and throw a couple of stun grenades in, but they're actually going, I think, for a plant coming in through the window of Kitchen, and this looks like it might have caught Holy Cross completely off guard because the plant is down and ticking. Ash does manage to secure a kill. Moving Three's trying to come back in from the opposite direction. Foxy Rooting Gate swings hard on to another double kill there for Moving Three, and OEU getting in on the action as well. And that is a quick cleanup of the UNK Lopers to finish this off. So attempt at some chicanery there is unfortunately met with nothing but devastation as we go ahead and get a wide-ranging sort of audled view of the bloodstain there on the wall.
Yeah, very cinematic one at that. You love to see it, but well played by Holy Cross to just come back in that one. I do have to question why UNK just didn't cut their losses and get the heck out of Dodge. I would have run for the hills once that plant was down, but a 5-1 split for this now attacking side of Holy Cross. They are in a good spot, I'd have to say. You were saying it's more of a frag-heavy map. We're seeing much more gunfights than we'd usually see, and almost always that favors the attackers. So, as the Holy Cross side heads on to the attacking side, do you think they're going to continue their dominance, or do you think UNK is going to just take that aggressiveness right back?
I would assume that Holy Cross continues to hold it out here. I mean, so I will say that if you want to play Recruit on attack, it's a bit silly, but you can kind of do it. I don't think that I can say the same of somebody playing Recruit on defense. I think at that point in time, that is actively detrimental. Just because there are other very valuable defensive operators that are not in this lineup that person could be playing. Valkyrie being the one that I think stands out immediately in my mind, even in a less structured format like we've seen between these two teams. I just think that there are, a Vigil or something would fit into the gun style play more. So don't really know what to make of that, but it is what it is.
I have some information for you.
go ahead.
I was suspect of the fact that Derpy Mage was solely playing on the recruit and why they wouldn't switch off on the defensive side, so I did a little bit of research. According to our 6 tracker, they have not played a single game in ranked, or casual, or unranked. Yeah.
Okay, then.
They quite literally do not have other operators to play.
Well, I guess that explains the situation. They're unfortunate then, because like I said, on defense, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. So we'll roll with it, and they'll roll with it. Already the drone's coming in. Speaking of rolling, moving 3, getting a good idea of what's going on the top deck. Ella is waiting. I'm better mate, maybe hoping to pick something up. Instead, nearly gets picked up herself. Has to flee back there. I'm better mate, not wanting to hang around for too long in a relatively dangerous spot like that. Is now the drone coming in here from Ocean's Fury, the thermite player.
Yeah, they're just going to drone their team in, and justifiably so. It's the support player. It's usually what you see. I have to say, I would be surprised if I saw Ashe, ironically on the Ashe, droning in the rest of their team as they are on that fragging roll, but that's not what we're seeing. One thing I am a little bit surprised of is why they are headed to the bottom floor first. I know it's already a minute in, but it's still something we have yet to talk about. Different decision than what I'm honestly used to, but it seems like Holy Cross is well prepped for it.
Yeah, it's one of those sites, I think, where, you know, some teams just feel comfortable there, and maybe more comfortable than they would even going up to hookah, which I would imagine would be sort of the standard point. But this is a very tight, very exposed defense that has been shown here by the UNK Lopers. It only takes one of these vertical players to really set themselves up in a decent position, and all 3 of those defenders on that kitchen side could be very, very dead indeed. Moving 3 has used a lot of the skeleton key already. I think they still maybe have a couple of rounds there, so enough to open up a hole in some of these critical places if they so chose, but nothing. Now rotating back over towards the wall, just assuming a different position. But again, you got to watch out for that vertical play. I mean, this is part of the problem too about not holding up on the top deck. As a brief burst of action right there, Mashu gets one with the ult, but is immediately gunned down on the other side by Ashe. Now more bodies dropping in here as Holy Cross looks to finish off the round.
45 seconds left on that clock. You can see the close play by But Nothing. She will try and stick it out in this close corner. And playing on this barricaded wall, they go their way. But in goes that Ashe charge. It'll blow up that barricade, make the lives of the attackers just that much easier. Next Snipes in the close position, yet to get a kill, But Nothing gets a kill of their own. They're traded right back to Ashe. Efficient with the trades. They'll get yet another as well. A triple on the board. But Narwhal, with the frag there, will actually take that triple away. Bettermate does get the kill across, and now it's just down to this 1 versus 2. Only 5 HP left on I'm Bettermate. They'll try and get this diffuser down, but the close angle being played. I'm Bettermate getting the shots in. They've run out of ammo. Will they finish off the player? No, they don't have the information. This plant goes down. They get another kill. It's a quad for Ashe. Down to the 1 versus 1. Derpy Mage, MP5K in hand, G36 in hand for Ashe, but only half HP. Close angle being played. They'll get the... Oh my goodness, no they don't! Oh, Derpy Mage gets the kill, and they'll get the defuse as well. The ace stripped away from Ashe. Holy Cross so close to winning out the clutch round, but UNK open up in the second half, and well, get the first round of it. They send themselves on to their second, and wow, that was close.
Yeah, wow, that was down to the wire right there. Derpy Mage coming swinging in with the quick victory there. Really looked like a situation that was getting wildly out of hand there for UNK Lopers for a second, and then Holy Cross, you know, they look like they were on a winner, and then sort of filtered into the same plant spot over and over again and got justifiably punished for it. Now we see some interesting choices here coming out on the side of Holy Cross. And I was going to talk about the Fuse, but it looks like they are keyed into it as well. And Ashe will be playing their namesake there, at least their namesake in the context of Rainbow Six Siege. Again, you know, some interesting choices in this lineup. Legion coming out and Ella making an appearance. But again, it is coastline, so I wouldn't say that these things are terrible by any means. They're all operators that can still frag and still get their round in. Holy Cross, though, at least in my mind here, time still holding a pretty distinct advantage.
Yeah, and obviously so. We can see I'm going to apologize. I was extremely confused. The R6 HUD was messing with me. It said Narwhal got a kill and that they were on triple, but it's Ashe to steal the kill away from Narwhal. I have no idea what the heck happened. A HUD bug is happening yet again in R6. Unfortunately, not something we can control, but hopefully something around. UNK, that's an interesting trap. Putting it behind the post, that's smart, just to keep it out of that normal line of sight, and people usually still walk over it as they clear up the stairs. That is high IQ from the Legion of Snipes.
Have you played a lot of Legion? That's you gotta hide those things, man. You gotta put them in weird little rat corners that people are like completely shocked by, and they're just suddenly gooed. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. My dog approves. He's very happy. He's very happy with that goo mine placement. He's like, yeah, he's gold actually. You'd be surprised. No opposable thumbs. Still manages to make it work. Anyway. Up on the top there, Buck now looking in. That'll be moving 3, who has so far been kind of a solid fragger for the team. That 10-3 lineup really standing out. Ash also doing well in the 9-5, as is OEU, who we have seen doing a really good job now playing over on the Iana. A little bit of a quiet round last round, but still plenty of development to be done here.
I'd like to see them create some more control, and well, with that kill, that's exactly what will happen. You can see the skeleton key being used by moving 3. That would allow them to just push into this VIP position, and relatively early, just the same. I like the early map control taken by Holy Cross. It's something that UNK struggled with early on and even later on in their half of attack, and they are basically right outside sight with still 90 or 100 seconds left on that.
You wouldn't see, I think, Ash go ahead and use the breaching charge there, the breaching round, I should say, to go ahead and take down that Maestro camera. Then the Iana clone coming in, but it's moving 3 who dies first. Ash thinks about pushing that corner, but actually falls back. The diffuser is trapped here in a 4v3 situation. Narwhal does manage to pick up 1 kill, and I'm better, mate. A hard swing of the corner there from Ash, who picks up 1 with the G36, but then both of them fall back. The crossfire in coming in from Snipe 76, who does some serious work there, and I think perhaps saves his team from a bit more of an aggressive situation. Now they have both the crossfire set up. He'll go ahead and get 1 more, living up to the name, but now Ash falling back. Only a sliver of health there, caught on camera as well in a duel with Derpy Mage in a scene that is not entirely unfamiliar to us in this matchup so far. Ash trying to tap 1 in, won't find it, wins. Beautiful gunplay right at the chest level, drills the burst in and gets the kill.
7 kills between 2 rounds for Ash, but this time around, they win the 1 versus 1. That was the important one to win. Holy Cross now on to match point. UNK need to pick things up, and well, they've struggled. Needless to say, they have had their issues on both sides of the ball here, or at least of the map. But Holy Cross establishing why they are, well, the Holy Cross. They are playing a little bit better. I don't really know where I was going with that one, but yeah, they're playing a little bit better here.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just gonna let it slide. Yes, they have established their identity in this matchup, which is true. I mean, they have. It's the kind of thing where this is one of the great aspects of the NECC, right? Is that it gives all these college players a chance to play, a chance to get streamed. It's very exciting. I mean, it must be, really exciting. When I was in undergraduate and college, we never really had these opportunities. Esports wasn't a thing yet. So it's exciting to see it go down and see these players play. And I think there's a lot to be learned here for these two sides. Obviously, Coastline is a little bit more of a wild map, but I think there are definitely some things to be learned in terms of structure and droning. I think are the 2 key things that would help both these squads improve. Really, you've talked about map control a couple of times, and that is actually, I think, just absolutely essential for both these squads. They tend to go about securing these maps in a very atypical manner, and I think that's actually, hindering them far more than it's helping them. We saw in particular that last round, the crossfire that came in from Snipes right there. That's the sort of thing that would have been prevented if you had just had a more sort of methodical, widespread take of the map rather than putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, and you were talking about time, and from time to time, we see time. It's a struggle for the attackers to capitalize off of the time they're given. I feel like Holy Cross has established why they are a little bit of a better attacking squad, utilizing the time to the best of their advantage, and well, just making sure they can win out these rounds. They are on match point, so it is just down to the wire here for UNK. They are out of mulligans on the defensive side, and they need to win things here on Hookah. I feel like they've had their struggles here before as well. We saw Holy Cross win here just last round. I'm not a fan of them going back to this site, but Mashu, I'm a fan of that. Nice opening frag, and they'll look to get a second, but no, it's just a Gemini clone. Even I was fooled there, my friend.
I was laughing there for a second because they're all stacked up on the roof together, and I couldn't help but think just one nitro cell would have done it. They call that in Dungeons and Dragons. They call that fireball formation. When you come in like that, everybody's stacked up because one good fireball spell and it's all over. But in the end, they do branch off, and Mashu collects the kill. Now they're kind of trapped coming in out of Hall of Fame, and again, this is a scene that we've seen repeated a number of times. These wide angle pushes kind of all coming in from one direction, and it tends to get very difficult for these teams. Doesn't take a lot for the defenders to kind of close down these routes. Look at Mashu already setting up the crossfire there. Unfortunately, gets caught the other way. The trade is there, though. Good kill coming in from I'm Better Mate to level that one out almost immediately. Really appreciate the heads-up play right there to make sure that they didn't get away with that, to maintain that 4-3 advantage.
Yeah, they keep the man advantage on the board, and oh no, they're going to lose it just as quick. Ocean's Fury, no, they just barely missed the toes. The Cade will stay alive. I don't know if they are behind that wall. No, they're not. They need to get around that wall in order to pick up their brethren that is on the ground. Mage working across. They have this MP5K in hand, but they will not get a kill. Oyo and Ocean's Fury, well, trading things out. Oh no, they let the Cade get around though. That is not good. They will be able to pick up the Moroccan operator. OU will pick up though. They will try and push around, and with the G36 in hand, they'll try and get this control. As with 30 seconds left on the clock, they're left in a 1 versus 3.
Well, the Lopers not giving it away for free, that's for sure, here at the tail end, putting up a lot of a fight. OEU, though, one of the big fraggers for this squad, goes ahead and throws the frag grenade out there, blows out the barricade, tries coming in on a flanking angle, couple of shots going down range, won't find anyone, though, just pings the air, gets but nothing, goes in again, gets one more, that's Derpy Mage dropped, and that leaves everything on the back of Snipes here, who does not have to take this fight. Again, he could just run away, and he will do so. Discretion, the better part of Valor right there to secure the round win.
Wow, that's a new one. Discretion, the better part of Valor. I'm going to steal that. Thank you very much for the new vocabulary.
You're welcome.
UNK, they stay alive for one more round, and I feel like a comeback is possible. Coastline is very back and forth just about every single round. It could go the way of either team. I was talking about it being attacker-sided, but the problem here is these teams are playing in more of a fragging style of play. I'm seeing less, I wouldn't say less tactical play, but it would be more efficient play utilizing their weapons earlier on in the round. Not something we see usually in the competitive side of Siege, and something I'd like to see more of because, well, I love the utility simulator in Rainbow Six Siege, but I also like the first-person shooter aspect of it. And speaking of first-person shooters, there's a Glaz on the board, so your Russian slander is null and void, my friend.
Oh, just because I don't think he's very good doesn't mean I don't like seeing him play. It's always entertaining. He's also a solid player. I mean, Moving 3 has done a very good job, so if anyone on the lobby can make it work, it might very well be him. We'll see, though, if that is more prophecy or more speculation at this point in time. Other than that, the attacker lineup looking, I would say, almost relatively standard. Ocean's Fury coming in on the Thermite. Maybe not the best hard breacher in this particular scenario, but certainly not a bad choice. Good gun, good gadget. On the other side of the defenders, besides the addition of the recruit here, I think the rest of the lineup also quite solid. Kitchen, kind of a site that could run a variety of different compositions. I don't think this one is particularly bad. Bit interesting to hard open this entire wall, though. That is certainly a strategic innovation of which I've not seen very much. I know a lot of teams won't reinforce that wall, but wholesale opening is another thing entirely. As Moving 3 here tries to sidle down and go ahead and get a sightline in through Kitchen. That's, if he gets a kill off of that, I'm going to be mightily impressed.
It's very difficult with the OTS to try and get vertical angles, especially from below, but for some reason, yeah, Moving 3 deciding a little bit better of peeking down, and well, justifiably so. Mashu on the other side of that bomb chassis down below. I feel like they are on the front foot, just locking down the angle, but the distance and, well, the thermal type scope from that OTS, that'll come in handy for Moving 3, who is still peeking that same angle.
And if you can get someone to walk into that crossfire. I mean, he will almost certainly get a kill, but he's not going to be able to do it from this position. And I mean, he has to know that. I mean, it's not a bad play, honestly. If he can make it work, he can't, but he certainly gives Mashu something to think about. And he now takes a whiff of smoke right there and has to back off. Not going to blame him for that, to be honest. You know, obviously we're not talking about Champagne Rainbow Six here, but for somebody playing Glass, I've definitely seen stupider plays, and that's not a particularly bad idea. He's making use of the smoke grenades, making use of the thermal scope. Unfortunately, no one being particularly obliging, and he is in a bit of a difficult spot here because it's clear that somebody is playing in on the flank. They have managed to get the hatch open, and I will also add that he has provided a beautiful distraction, and he does get the kill off the long angle. Unfortunately, Snipes is there to get a kill back on the other side. It's Nawal who drops a brief flurry of action. Snipes actually dropping back down, sees another target in his crosshairs, now rushing forward to try and collect that one, but it was just the Iana clone.
Yeah, fooled yet again. Duped again, my friend.
Oh!
No, they get taken out as well. Looking for another. Can they take out the recruit?
No!
They cannot. Derpy Mage gets the kill, but it's actually only the down. Down two, that 2 versus 3. Ask them to push in, and they will take out that smoke. Down to only Derpy Mage. 1 versus 3. They will be taken out. Standing in place, they will be removed. Holy Cross, they win Coastline.
Credit to moving 3 there on the Glass. You know what? Good job, bud. Like, really well done, actually. He's a hard operator to play, and to come in like that, like a dagger straight into the, you know, guts of the enemy team. I loved that, to be honest. That was very entertaining time. I'm glad I got to see that in action. Also, just to get the kills at close range with Glass, I can't do it, so always happy to see somebody who's able to pull it off.
Yeah, I've always admired those that can frag out from the close range with Glass. I am one that keeps my social distance when using the OTS myself.
Very much so.
I do want to address our main fraggers of the previous map. Moving 3, 12 kills. 2 on the Glass, by the way, so your Russian slander, again, null and void. Get it out of here. Ash and Oyo, though, both of them just fragging out. Through and through, both above that 13 kill mark. I love to see it. We need to see more of that heading into map 2, which, believe it or not, is their map pick. We're headed to Cafe next. But before we do, I'm better, mate. Amazing job, but unfortunately for UNK, they can't be the only player on that squad fragging out. They need to have some support, and thus far we haven't seen it. We will head on to Cafe, but quick, we're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere.